He's played cowboys, detectives, war heroes, and grumpy old men. But at home, Clint Eastwood has also played his most rewarding role, Dad. With 8 children from different chapters of his life, the Eastwood family is as fascinating, talented, and sometimes surprising as the man himself. Let's saddle up and meet the Eastwood crew, one child at a time. Laurie Eastwood is the eldest of Clint's children, born in 1954, when Eastwood himself was still years away from stardom. At the time, he reportedly didn't know she existed. Laurie was placed for adoption, and it wasn't until decades later that she and Clint reconnected. They've built a relationship since then, and Laurie's even joined her father at big events, including the Oscars in 2004 and the premiere of The Mule in 2018. While she lives a private life, Laurie is now firmly part of the Eastwood clan, proof that sometimes Hollywood endings can happen in real life too. Kimber Eastwood. Born in 1964 to Clint and actress Roxanne Tunis, Kimber dabbled in acting early on, appearing in a few films, including some of her father's projects. But eventually, she found her niche behind the scenes, working as a successful makeup artist and producer. Kimber has built an impressive resume in TV and film production, and her brushwork has been seen on shows like Wheel of Fortune and Dog the Bounty Hunter. Quite the range. She also worked on The Mule, continuing the family tradition. She's been married 3 times, has one son named Clinton. Yes, Clint has a grandson named after him. How fitting. And currently lives a glamorous yet grounded life with her husband Sean Midkiff, a film producer. Kyle Eastwood. In 1968, to Clint and his first wife Maggie Johnson, Kyle initially showed some interest in acting but quickly realized that music was his true love. And not just any music, jazz. Kyle is a professional jazz bassist and composer who's built a stellar international career. He's composed music for several of his dad's films, including Gran Torino, $1 Million Baby, and Mystic River, proving the Eastwood collaboration goes beyond DNA. His jazz quintet is based in London, though he splits his time between Europe and California. He's performed all over the world, and while he may not carry a 6-shooter like his dad, his bass lines are equally powerful. He's married to Cynthia Ramirez and has a daughter, Graylin, making Clint a jazz-loving grandpa, whether he likes it or not. Alison Eastwood was born in 1972, also to Maggie Johnson, and she may just be the most multi-talented member of the Eastwood family. She's been an actress, director, fashion designer, and even runs an animal rescue foundation, a true Renaissance Eastwood. She started acting as a kid and later earned praise for her role in Midnight in the Garden of Good and Evil. In 2007, she directed her first film, Rails and Ties, and in 2018 she came out of acting retirement for one last hurrah, playing Clint's daughter in The Mule. Outside of showbiz, Alison founded the Eastwood Ranch Foundation, which focuses on animal welfare, a cause close to her heart. She once said her entire family loves animals, which is probably the softest fact you'll ever read about Clint Eastwood. In 2013, she married sculptor Stacy Poitras, and together they're living a life filled with creativity, compassion, and probably a lot of pets. Scott Eastwood. Born in 1986 to Clint and flight attendant Jocelyn Reeves, is arguably the most visible of Eastwood's kids today. With chiseled looks, natural charisma, and serious work ethic, Scott is carving his own place in Hollywood. He appeared in Gran Torino early on, but has since made a name for himself with roles in The Longest Ride, The Fate of the Furious, Suicide Squad, and Pacific Rim Uprising. He does his own stunts, hits the gym like it's a second job, and often reminds us of a young Clint, just with a bit more California surfer energy. Scott also has an interest in directing, following in his father's footsteps, and has spoken about how Clint encouraged him to create his own content instead of waiting for roles to land in his lap. He's had a few high-profile relationships and has been open about the heartbreak of losing his girlfriend Jewel Brangman in a car accident in 2014, a tragedy that deeply affected him. Hardworking, driven, and ruggedly charming, Scott's career is one to keep watching. Kathryn Eastwood. Born in 1988, is Scott's full sister, the second child of Clint and Jocelyn Reeves. Like many of her siblings, she gave acting a shot, appearing in Clint's Jersey Boys in 2014. Kathryn also appeared in several indie films, often leaning toward horror, and has worked as a screenwriter, including for the anthology Virus of the Dead. That's right, Clint Eastwood's daughter writes zombie films. We fully support this career choice. She was also Miss Golden Globe in 2005, a role traditionally given to rising Hollywood stars with famous last names. She's quieter than some of her siblings, but still involved in the industry. And hey, if she ever writes a zombie western starring her dad, we'd absolutely watch that. Francesca Eastwood. Born in 1993 to Clint and British actress Frances Fisher, is one of the more public-facing Eastwood kids and a frequent presence on red carpets. She gained attention through the 2012 E! Reality series Mrs. Eastwood and Company, where viewers got a peek into the Eastwood household. Since then, she's worked steadily as an actress, with roles in Twin Peaks, Fargo, and M. Night Shyamalan's Old. She was named Miss Golden Globe in 2013 and briefly married Jordan Feldstein, Jonah Hill's late brother, in a whirlwind union that was annulled after a week. Francesca later welcomed a son, Titan, with personal trainer Alexander Wraith in 2018, making Clint both a movie legend and a grandpa with very cool grandkid names. In October 2024, Francesca made headlines for a felony domestic violence arrest. While details remain private, she posted bail and is reportedly keeping a low profile since. Like many in the family, she's had her ups and downs, but with Eastwood resilience, she'll likely bounce back strong. Morgan Eastwood. And finally, there's Morgan, the youngest of the Eastwood siblings, born in 1996 to Clint and his ex-wife Dina Eastwood. If the rest of the family is Hollywood royalty, Morgan is the modern princess of the bunch. She appeared on Mrs. Eastwood and Company as a teen and has since explored various creative paths, including acting, singing, and producing short films. She had small roles in $1 Million Baby and Changeling, and in 2020, she executive produced a short film titled I See You. In June 2024, Morgan married Tanner Koopmans at her dad's beautiful Mission Ranch in Carmel, a true Eastwood family affair. And just 3 months later, she gave birth to their daughter Cleo, the newest little Eastwood. With her calm confidence and artistic soul, Morgan is quietly building her own legacy, proving that even the youngest Eastwoods are born to shine. 8 kids, multiple careers, red carpets, ranch weddings, jazz concerts, zombie scripts, and animal rescues. The Eastwood family has done it all, and they're still going. Each sibling brings something totally unique to the table, like different characters in a long-running, award-winning family saga written and directed by life itself. From private lives to public premieres, from sound stages to classrooms, the Eastwood kids have grown into their own stories. And some of those stories include jazz solos, chainsaws, horror films, and Hollywood drama. It's not your average family. But then again, Clint Eastwood is not your average dad. Through it all, Clint has spoken about how becoming a better father later in life brought him the most joy. From missing early years while filming spaghetti westerns across the world to being fully present at his youngest daughter's softball games, he's embraced fatherhood in all its stages, wrinkles, wisdom, and all. He's gone from cowboy to coach, from Dirty Harry to doting grandpa, and that may be his greatest role of all. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment below. Which Eastwood child surprised you the most? And if Clint ever stars in a zombie western, we'll see you at the premiere. Popcorn's on us.